Are you tired of playing ordinary piano chords, but as soon as you try to spice up your chords, it starts to become a little too complicated? Well, I have a simple system that I use to turn ordinary chords into amazing chords, and it does not require a lot of thought. So whether you're a beginner student or an advanced student, I've seen this system work for thousands of students. And as soon as you learn it, playing awesome sounding chords will be easier than ever. Now, at the end of this lesson, I'm going to show you how to apply this system to the classic Stevie Wonder tune, Isn't She Lovely? So make sure to watch all the way to the end so that you fully understand how to use this system on a full chord progression. So let's start with the problem. And the problem is likely how you think about piano chords. And here's what I mean. When you learned C major, you probably learned that you start on C, you skip the D, you play the E, you skip the F, and you play the G. And there's nothing wrong with this system. However, it can start to limit you if you want to play more beautiful chord progressions like this. The chords that I played look nothing like the C major chord. And so for a lot of students, when they play a tune like Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder, they're gonna see the chords like A minor, and they're gonna play A minor. And then they'll see D major, and then they'll play a D major. And then G major, they'll play it like this, and then C major. But this sounds super ordinary, and most students are gonna wanna add some colorful notes to their chords to make them sound interesting. But here's where we get to the next problem, and that is if you want to play more interesting chords, you need to know 7th chords and 9th chords and 11th chords and 13th chords. And it gets really complicated because let's say you wanted to color your A minor. Well, you would normally add the 7th and then the 9th to this chord, right? And then if you wanted to color your D chord, well, normally you would add the 7th and the 9th. Look how complicated these chords are becoming. For the G chord, a lot of pro pianists would add the 7th, the 9th, and the 13th. And then on the C chord, it's very common to add the 7th and the 9th. And this becomes a lot to think about. How on earth am I supposed to play beautiful chord progressions if I have to think of all of these different notes that I can add to each of the chords? And furthermore, it doesn't even sound good. If I play an A minor like that, and then a D, I play it like that, and then a G like that. These chords actually don't sound that great. How do you get from this to this? Well, that's where my system comes in. I have a very simple approach to playing these beautiful sounding chords with a simple plug and play formula. But before I show it to you, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. All right, so the system that I use is incredible because it takes very sophisticated sounding chords like this and it simplifies it to 4 very simple chord shapes. I call these stock chords. And stock chords are basically chords that you can play and they instantly sound good. They work 99% of the time on your chord progressions. And so you can sort of plug and play these chords into just about any chord progression and it will sound amazing. So what are the 4 stock chord shapes? First, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick a starting note, and we're gonna use E as the example. Now, the notes that we're gonna use as a reference to the starting note are gonna be notes from the C scale, okay? So, shape number 1 is gonna be a 3-3-3. And what you do is you start on the E, you go up a third, so that's a 3, and then up a third, that's another 3, and then up another third, that is a 3. Now, I don't want you to think of this as an E minor 7 chord. This is a chord shape based on third intervals, and we're gonna use this chord shape on the chords from the chord progression. So keep this in mind. Shape number 2 is a 3-2-3 chord shape. So we're gonna start on the E, we're gonna go up a third, so there's my 3, and then go up a second, there's the 2, and then up another third, that's the C, okay? 3, 2, 3. Shape number 3 is gonna get a little bit spicy, and for this one, it's gonna be a 3-2-4, okay? So we start on the E, we go up a third, that's the 3, then we have our 2, and then the 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's gonna be the 3-2-4 shape. And finally, shape 4 is gonna be a 4-2-3 shape. So for this one, we start on E, it's gonna be a 4th interval, and then a 2, and then a 3. Okay, that's the 4-2-3 shape. So quick review of the shapes, and then I'm gonna teach you how to use these on your chords. So we have 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, and then 4, 2, 3. So let's look back at when I played Isn't She Lovely and see if I played these chord shapes. So the first chord I played was this. It's a very hip A minor, and check out this chord shape. We have a 3, 2, 3. Okay, so that's shape number 2. Okay, the next chord was this. Very hip D chord, okay? And check it out. We have a 4, a 2, and then a 3. What chord shape is this? This is shape number 4. Now you might be thinking, Johnny, why do we use the F sharp in this chord and not the F? Well, because the original chord called for a D major, and the D major has an F sharp in it. So if you have a note that's outside of the key signature, in this case we're in the key of C, then you would oftentimes adjust that note to play the chord shape. Next one, very hip G chord. What shape is this? That's shape number 1, 3, 3, 3. And then finally, the last chord, very hip C chord, and this is shape number 3. Remember, 3, 2, and then 4. And the power of these chord shapes is that it allows you to instantly play the really beautiful colors on this chord that you may have tried to play earlier. We call these the 9th, the 11th, and the 13th. So for example, on the A minor chord, you played it like that. Well, guess what? If you play an A minor 9, we're actually playing all of these notes using this chord shape system. What about the D chord? Very hip D chord. Well, guess what? This is a D13, and a D13 has this, and this. And so it's a much simpler way of playing these really colorful chords. But you're probably thinking, okay, Johnny, that sounds great, but is there a formula to how you use these chord shapes on chords? Meaning, how do I actually play them on specific chords? Well, that's what I'm going to show you next. And there are basically rules for how you can use these chord shapes on different types of chords. Let's start with shape number 1. And recall, shape number 1 is all thirds. 3, 3, and then 3. Well, the shape number 1 is typically used on the 7th of a chord or the 3rd of a chord. So you'll oftentimes see this over a G. This is the 7th of G. If you just count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or it's a whole step down from the root. This creates a beautiful chord called a G13 sus4. And this chord shape can also be used on the 3rd of a chord. So for example, let's say you played it here. Well, this is the 3rd of C. So this creates a beautiful chord called a C major 9. Shape number 2 is a 3, 2, 3 chord shape. And this is typically used on the 4th or the 7th of the chord. So, for example, you might see this over an A, and once again, this is the 7th of A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It creates a beautiful chord called an A minor 9, or it's used on the 4th of the chord. What note is this the 4th of? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a D. Okay, and this is a really hip chord called a D13 sus4. Shape number 3 is a 3, 2, 4 chord shape, and this is typically used on the 3rd or 7th of a chord. So this is typically played on a C, because this is the 3rd of C, or it's used on the 7th of a chord. Okay, so a common way this is played, if we just shift it up here, this is the 7th of G. You see that? And so once again, it's the same chord shape, but it's the 7th of this chord. This creates a beautiful chord called a G13. Finally, shape number 4 is a 4, 2, 3 chord shape. And this is typically used on the 3rd or the 6th of a chord. So you'll typically see a chord like this over a C, because this is the 6th of C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this creates a beautiful chord called a C6-9. And then finally, this is often used on the 3rd of a chord. And so a good example of this was that D chord I played earlier. Remember I played this? Well, guess what? This is a 4th interval, right? A 2nd and a 3rd interval. Okay, and this creates a beautiful chord called a D13. All right, now that you know the basic rules of these stock chord shapes, I'm going to show you how to use them on the full progression of Isn't She Lovely? But before I teach that to you, if you want to go deeper on this topic and you really want to understand these chords even more, I recommend that you check out our learning tracks over at pianowithjohnny.com. If you're a beginner, then I recommend that you go beginner to foundations. You will learn all of your basic major and minor chords, but where you'll really get into this deeper topic of more interesting, colorful, beautiful chords is in our intermediate learning tracks. You go over here to intermediate, and in level 4, you start to learn about 7th chords, and you learn everything that you need to know about 7th chords, how to use them in chord progressions, how to voice your chords, meaning the best order of notes, how to use them in lead sheets. And then after you go there, then you go to level 5, and in this one, you're going to learn about chord extensions. And this is all of the notes that you can add to chords to make them sound beautiful. And we go into a lot of detail about exactly how to play these chords. And then finally, in level 6, this is where we dive into rootless voicing chords. And the chords that you've actually learned in this video so far are technically called rootless voicing chords. They are beautiful chords used by the top pianists. And so in this level 6 foundations learning track, you're going to learn all about rootless voicings, how to use them on different types of chords, the best exercises to master them, how to use them in chord progressions and in lead sheets. So I'll put a link to these learning tracks below. All right, are you ready to play Isn't She Lovely using these stock chord shapes? I'm going to walk you through each chord and show you exactly which shape I'm using on each chord. So first chord is A minor, that's shape 2. Second chord is D13, that's shape 4. Next chord is G13 with a sus4, that's shape 1. And then a C6-9, that's shape 3. Then we're going to repeat it. We're going to go back to shape 2 on the A minor. And we're going to change it on the D chord. On this one, we're going to use a shape 1. A little different, okay? Next chord, our G chord, we're going to change it just a little bit and play shape 3 on this one, which works great. And the next one, our C chord, we're also going to change it to a shape 1. Okay? So sometimes you can use different shapes on the same chord, okay? Next chord is an F chord, that's shape 1, okay? And then this is really cool. This is our E chord, this is a shape 1. We put a G sharp in there to match the original chord, which is E. Then we have A minor, that's a shape 2. And then our D chord is a shape 4. Okay, really nice. Okay, almost to the end. Then we have shape 1 on the D minor, really pretty. And then shape 1 on the G13 sus 4, really lovely. And finally, shape 3 on the C chord, which looks like that. So what are some other songs that you think these chords would work on? Leave a comment and let me know. And of course, if you want to go deeper on your piano learning, we have an amazing community over at pianowithjonny.com with the full online learning curriculum with step-by-step courses. So be sure to check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.